And so we have him in his robot mode. And the more astute among you will realise that this isn't the same figure as I was just reviewing. Because the one you see in front of you now is the Takara one. There's the Hasbro one. The main differences, as I pointed out earlier, are the tail fins aren't purple on this guy. The guy got this off had applied most of the decals. And the wings are different as well. You know, the mould is exactly the same, except for the face. The Takara one actually got a new head sculpt for both of the face. He's got a rotating face, which I'll show you in a bit, if I actually get can. He's got a rotating head, same as the Starscream one, and he's just going to fall apart in a minute. And the Hasbro one was just a repaint of the Starscream one, so he still had that maniacal, crazy look on his face, whereas the Skywarp one actually gets some massive grimace. I'm going to take him off his stand and make him stand as best possible. Ooh, that's sharp. Yeah, they're a bit sharper. They've been trimmed down on the bloody Hasbro one. Ouch, you bastard. If you have the Takara version, please be careful of your fingers. Jeez. But we're not looking at the differences, other than one will cause you grief and pain, and one comes a lot cheaper. There we are. You're going to be good? No, you're not. You're going to fall over at the first opportunity, like all Masterpiece figures do. So there we go. There he is in his robot mode. I mean, if you don't own a Masterpiece figure, then you're probably not interested in one, because they have been the Hasbro version of this guy has been so cheap recently in the last year or so. In the UK, he was available for £20. You know, that's like $30, and I think he was available for about $30 in the US at one point as well, from Walmart when he was available there. So I'm not really going to convert you on it, but you know, the range of articulation that these things have are absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, the Seeker mold doesn't really like standing up under its own steam, and prefers to, because he's so back heavy, kibble. Because he is so back heavy, he prefers his stand to make him stand, which is disappointing really, because since the other ones are all very poseable, you kind of have to take it as he's flying, he's leaping off the ground and things like that, while you still have all the articulation in the arms, massive amounts of joints, and of course the fingers. Only the index fingers and thumb are separately articulated, then you have the three together. You know, you have a lot of room for posability. He does have the launching rocket pods, like all good Seekers should have. What else? What other gimmicks can I show you on him? Yeah, unfortunately, we'll go into this. These massive, obviously, sides of the damn jet. Like the E-23 Destron? Yeah. Nice little harken back there. There is a mod you can do where you can trim it down, attach this part to the leg, and then just have these intake parts as the hip sections, and that looks really nice. I don't have the confidence to cut my Takara Skywarp up. It wasn't cheap. Well, it wasn't that expensive, but you know, it wasn't as cheap as £20, that's for sure. So I deal with him as is. It's not bad. It's not the best thing in the world, but you know what? I'm happy enough with it. Yes, we may as well do the face gimmick now, if he's going to be good. As you can see, this one has a habit of just pulling himself apart. He doesn't like staying in the head area. Anyway, yeah, rotate the head up. Grab him by his chin. Pull his head down. Come on. Rotate. And plug it back in. And you end up with this crazed grimace from Skywarp. I can't wait to get the Thundercracker so I can actually have a look at what his face is like as well. I know it's I think it's a different one from both of them, so that'd be nice. Nice to have all the different personalities there as well from the characters. I mean, Skywarp is just a thug. So to have that sort of mad, gritted teeth attack mode look to him is quite nice. There isn't actually much you can say about him because he is so difficult to actually just put down and talk about. Other than the fact he's well articulated, doesn't like to stand on his own, and is just a nice clean piece. Other than those bloody great wings around the back that actually make him look a little bit heavy. He is an exceptional piece. He is the best Seeker mould you're going to get because he is a masterpiece, and it's money well spent. I know a few people really don't like this mould for various reasons. You know, the transformation is too complicated. All the back kibble and these wing parts are just a bit disappointing. I mean, you can pop them off. I'm not sure if I can pop them off on this one. I can pop them off on Starscream mode. You can pop them off and you're just left with the ball joints that you can tuck out of the way. But, you know what, I don't mind it. They're there, you know, you deal with it, really. Overall, it is a fantastic looking piece. Both of them are. Whichever one you get, you'd be quite happy with. Personally, it's, you know, I keep this guy in his robot mode, I keep the Hasbro one in his jet mode. So, because the jet mode, the Hasbro one is more cartoon accurate, I prefer to see the Seekers as a group in their cartoon accurate sense, in the same way as I've got the Starscream in his G1 Starscream in his jet mode. And I keep these in the robot mode because you're still getting across the Transformer, you're still getting across what he is and who he is in this mode without it having to be 100% accurate. That said, I do prefer the purple on the Hasbro version. It looks more Generation 1 accurate, and it's just a nicer colour. It doesn't clash quite as much as this. But the amount of effort of engineering and the detail that's gone into actually making this guy, you can't be too disappointed, especially if you've managed to pick one up like the Hasbro one for 20 quid. A Voyager price, he is a fantastic figure. And even at 50 quid, Supreme price, you know, he is a wonderful bit of kit, and he is a very attractive bot. Go and get one, to be perfectly honest. You're going to be able to pick them up still at Argos for probably, well, I don't know, actually, by the time this comes out, they might be off completely. But, you know, you can still pick them up out there, and they aren't that expensive. If you want the Takara version rather than the Hasbro one, for whatever reason, maybe you prefer the colour scheme on the Takara one, maybe you just prefer the build quality, because the build quality is slightly better, then I would strongly recommend hunting one down on eBay, and, yeah, just basically haggling, because I got the Takara one, because this guy was out, the Hasbro one's so cheap, I got the Takara one for a pretty good steal, to be perfectly honest with you. Which one? It's down to you, really.